dum dum, dum dum, dum dum, dum dum. Fucking B.
Once it's up there, it's stuck there. We ain't accepting apologies. I made it out the hood, but I'm still a nigga eating chicken and collard greens. And don't believe the hype. They gon' tell you a lot of things. And
yes. And we back. I'm talking about the Carriers Radio. I'm talking about Harriet Tubman, cousin, and all that, man.
But I know he won't tell on
Hey,
us, so
you
we can
know
switch
what I'm saying? This, the Carriers Radio #1 show is up. Is up. Is up. You know what I'm saying? That's how they like it. They like that shit. You know what I'm saying? But real quick, you know what I'm saying? You know, I need y'all to help me out. You know what I'm saying? Turn that speaker because I'm getting a little feedback. You know what I'm saying? You know, we live streaming and all that. You know what I'm saying? We run into problems. There's a lot of problems and shit. We'd have been streaming if it wasn't problems. You know what I'm saying? There's always problems. Turn it this way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to comment, like, subscribe. Come on. Comment, like, subscribe. I see the like. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you sitting on the home on the couch anyway. You know what I'm saying? Probably eating popcorn, eating snacks and shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, comment, like, subscribe, interact. You know what I'm saying? It's the chat. You the chat, right? What's up, chat? How they be? They be like, hey, chat. Yo, chat. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to chat back. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I keep getting text messages and calls and all that. You know what I'm saying? And you know why? Because they want the dog. They like, yo, well, when they going? Did they order the dog? Did they order? No, they didn't order the dog yet. You know what I'm saying? You need to go to Shrink Line Kennels and order the dog. You know what I'm saying? Your girl want the dog. You know what I'm saying? Your kids keep on talking about, where the dog, where the dog? You know what I'm saying? Get them a designer dog. You know what I'm saying? Easy. You know what I'm saying? They got all the paperwork. They official and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's getting warm. I'm going to have them on the stage. You know what I'm saying? Out here, they going to be wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, we in a rough house anyway, you know. You know what I'm saying? Where my dog's at. You know what I mean? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you go to Shrink Line Kennels and just go check out the new litter that we just had. Like, you know what I mean? Like Mars, all of them. Yeah. They doing their damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Eating and all that. Looking good. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out. You know what I'm saying? Get you a dog. You know what I'm saying? Because you going to need it. Or if you ain't got security, you know what I'm saying? Because all the bullshit that you doing, it ain't going to work anyway. You might as well hire yourself security, you know? Primetime protection. Make sure you hire primetime protection for your next event. You know what I'm saying? Birthday party, barbecue, bar mitzvah. Like, there's no job too small. They going to do it all. Like, they going to come through, and you already know what they do. They going to secure your event. Make sure everybody get home safe, and it's going to be a real good joint. So, you know what I'm saying? You tell them that you've seen it on the Izzup show. You know what I'm saying? You're going, you might, you know what I'm saying? It's like, 10% off some shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? Primetime protection on the Instagram, man. Like, for real, man. It's outside. I'm outside every day. Shout out to Steph, Steph Curry with the shot. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kyle on the technician side of the things. And, we out here, we mobbing. You know what I'm saying? I got Martin in the building with me. You know what I'm talking about? So, everybody calling my phone. They like, what's going on? I'm going to tell you what's going on. Where was you at? I told you what was going on, and you missed it. You know what I'm saying? The, Ken Jones, Medical by Any Means, they was down there in Delaware. The roast, they had a comedy show, but before the comedy show, they had a roast. You know what I'm saying? It was hosted by Molly Cobain. Shout out to Molly Cobain. The Cobain Report. All that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a roast. They was roasting each other. It was going down in that joint. Like, they almost put me in it. Somebody said something. I said, what? I got up and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, that's a different story. We got to wait for the footage to come out for that. But, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we carried it. You know what I'm saying? Took home that championship cheese. And they're going to do it again May the 4th. So if you think you funny, come on down, man. Just tap in. It'll be on the page or whatever. I'll let y'all know it's up. You know what I'm saying? And it's stuck straight like that. The Blue Smoke event, y'all missed the Blue Smoke event. It was Shalit Lit. You missed it. Shout out to Slim City, Underground Legends and all that. Last night, the karaoke joint, where was you at? Everybody was there. We was outside making friends. We outside making friends. You know what I'm saying? Come outside. You know what I'm saying? So, this, a little that. All that. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you follow the Carriers Radio on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. We streaming on SHH Radio up in New York. We shout out to Built for Hip Hop. Hey, shout out to a lot of streaming platforms that's really, effing with us and getting us syndicated and all that. Like, even stop cursing a little bit because I was like, oh, I gotta clean it up because they talk about FM. So we gonna try to we gonna do something with the audio. We got the audio. Yeah, we got the audio. Press that red button right there so we can get the audio. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, I'm gonna bring my first guest because Izzup and it's stuck, and we gonna keep it moving like this. We gonna keep it like this. From South Philly, you know what I'm saying? My guy, you know what I'm saying? The teacher extraordinaire, all that good stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on up here, Wash.
They gon' tell you a lot of things and free my nigga Rel, took it to trial. They give him 12 for a robbery and he ain't even do it. But I know he won't tell on us, so we can switch positions.
Yeah. What's up with you?
Nothing much, man. Another day in paradise.
Oh, pull the pod up. You can pull it up.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just got done teaching. Figured I'd pull up on you, talk about things, talk about what I'm doing. I got a couple projects going on. I'm trying to create a maker space so I can provide teaching opportunities, teach people about computers and stuff. And technology. AI is kind of booming right now.
Yeah, everybody with AI. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, AI is going to change the game. It's like being able to Google without having to have a bunch of search results. Like the AI just tells you what you need to hear, and then there's ways you can use it to alleviate problems. Who don't got problems?
Like what kind of problems? What you mean?
So for instance, is anything I don't know, I just ask my AI, my ChatGPT, or any other solution that's similar to that. So for example, I didn't know how to change a specific light to a TV, right? I needed to replace one of my lights. So I looked up the brand and then searched, and the AI told me exactly what I needed to hear, where to find the information, how to show me videos. It's so useful because it helps with any type of learner.
Yeah. So I feel like you gotta learn how to use the AI because you can't just use it. Because I seen AI do some crazy stuff. Like every time I seen AI, it was just something that was just made up, and it was it was going crazy. So how is it? What do you gotta how do you actually learn how to?
It's literally, it's like with any language, right? There's effective ways to communicate to people. Everybody talks a different way from different towns, from different neighborhoods, and is an effective way to communicate to ChatGPT or the Google solution Gemini. And honestly, it takes a little bit of inquiry. You want to ask questions. How do I communicate to chat, or how do I create a prompt? Right? Really, the term is called prompting. How to create an effective prompt to meet outcome or to generate solution, right? But this is not an uncommon question, right? It's really that simple, but then a lot of people, it can be complex if you don't understand all the ins and outs of it, to be honest. Yeah.
So it's more asking the right stuff.
Exactly. And apparently that's not a easy thing. It's like asking, how do I get to school versus how do I get to school before dark at this time during this variable to meet this outcome, to be more specific with the question, if that makes sense. Yeah, sorry, I'm in my teacher mode right now.
Yeah, no, it's important, man. What else do you teach? What you got going on? Cause I like to learn, so I try to learn something new every day. Oh, we got a visitor already. You know what I'm saying? I try to learn something new every day, so it's you know what I mean? Shit, teach me something. Teach, you know what I'm saying? Chat what y'all want to know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm a tech ed teacher, so I understand technology, not just what you see on your phone or on a computer or something digital, but technology really means anything man-made that can make life better or address a problem, right? So a book is a technology, right? A table is a technology. And so what I've kind of done throughout my time teaching is kind of understand not only how to create those technologies, but also understand how they impact us as people, And so with the book, right? The book carried religion, carried all information that we really know. And then the birth of the internet came, right? And not only information is abundant, it's everywhere. You feel me? And so now we're, experts are talking about how AI is like the next version of that, right? And like just think about how the internet changed everything.
But the internet and like the AI shit is also like making up stuff. Like there's a lot of AIs that's making up stuff, and they got this AI voice on, and it's like, well, how do I believe? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
this
but it's
shit.
just like think about this, right? Social media, for example. Some people believe it, some people don't. Some people will read it verbatim, right? But like you can edit your reels. You can't edit real life. You feel me? And so that being said, it's really about identifying credible sources or sources of information that you trust or that make sense or that, reference other sources of information, like similarities in other sources of information to validate the information. But like the fascinating thing with the AI though, if you ask it to give you, instead of saying, give me this information, find this information for me and compare it to each other. So like if I'm trying to find new information, I'm asking it to find research papers to compare it to or like sources online, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so but what's going to happen like when, you know what I'm saying, because you're like an educator and you do stuff, so because they said that it's going to be like AI going to take over, like, they're going to do like social media influencers, and they're going to be doing like everything. So, it's like what's going to happen to like the influencers and like the teachers, like the end, because everything is going to be.
I mean, so, right now we're trying to figure that out, right? Because like there is a social aspect that, we kind of need or is or like it's kind of, dwindling, right? So like that's one perspective, right? But like the research I've done is essentially like the users of AI, will take advantage of the newer opportunities. Just like we're doing a shift in the way we do things, right. But the value I see is like the opportunity, to not just have access to information, but then have access to information that you can cater to your understanding, and that really just comes from like asking enough questions. Yeah. But yeah, man. So that's not right now I'm doing workshops for like the school districts for like organizations just to like explain that. I've done a couple of those, and it's at its infancy, but it's just moving so fast, right? So like as people like kind of get a grip on it, we like lose a grip on it because it's like, oh wow, you can really do this even more and better.
Right. So if I ask AI what's the ingredients to the signature sauce.
Listen, if it's smart, and what it could do, it could find my ingredients label on the sauce that's someplace, but there's one ingredient that, but yeah, about that. So that's what I'm using to fund this space I'm trying to build.
I would have had the sauce here, but we kind of used it all. You was like, you still got some sauce? I thought you was gonna bring some more with you. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a staple there, but
Yeah.
like I see, that's what it does. It just disappears.
It's gone. Ron's signature sauce.
I'm sorry I didn't bring any, but yeah, the history of the sauce, right?
I mean, I know the history of the sauce,
Yeah.
but we talking to
right. So
tell a chat.
So my pops, my father, he was a restaurateur down on South Street, and he took over a old business called BB's Lawnside, a business that he used to frequent as a youth himself, which had a reputation in the city, and it had this barbecue sauce that was already like in stores, and like this was during like the 1960s, 70s, right? And my dad, he ended up buying the business when Miss B was transitioning, and he literally just kept changed the name and kept everything the same. And so he was bottling the sauce, and like Ron's Ribs, gained a reputation within the area of South Philly. And my dad, he wasn't just like an entrepreneur though; he was like an activist. He fought for a lot of things, and so one of the things I'm trying to do, he fed people. I'm trying to feed people's minds. And he gave people fish. I'm trying to teach him how to fish. You feel me? And I'm trying to use the space that he left. We had this dining hall on the second floor of the restaurant, and my dad harbored community. And one of the things I've noticed, just as an educator, you know, it takes a village to raise a youth, man. It's not. It's hard to do it by yourself.
Facts. It's
You know, with a
definitely
few
hard.
people, but like when you got a community of people, you know, that's just there. You know, it does make a difference. You know, even just for the youth, just to know that they got that support
They
behind
got
them.
somebody. They got something.
Listen,
Yeah, coming up, you be like, man.
we got you. You know, and it just gives, you know, not only someone that that access the opportunity, but also the courage too. So you know that's the thoughts behind creating this space so I can harbor a community. You know, so I can teach people and give people access to technologies that they might have some difficulty having access to. I keep saying it's probably crazy.
Type shit. So what else you teaching?
So I'm teaching about AI, and then I teach graphic arts. So content creation. I'm a adjunct professor at university in the business and science department. So if you want to talk about business, we could talk about strategy. We could talk about developing an idea. We could talk about anything computer science related. I'm just here trying to use this 10 years of education and teaching and just making use of everybody around me.
Facts. So here on my show, like I stress like networking, like that's like really a thing. Tell chat how important you think like networking is.
Oh, networking is a lightweight superpower. You know, there's financial capital, but social capital is just as valuable, if not more. You know, there's that saying, your network is your net worth. And that's one thing that I noticed that my father was very effective at doing. You know, upon his demise, I inherited his network, and then I created my own, just witnessing how he developed his throughout my life. For sure. And you part of my network. You know that.
Facts, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I got you on here for nothing. Like, this my guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Wash. You know what I'm saying? We go way back. You know what I'm saying?
My pen on iMessage, my bro.
There's a lot
100%.
going on.
Yeah, man. That being said, kid, since we got the opportunity, when we made the first space in South Philly, man, you were really instrumental in that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have done it without you. And I really appreciate
1901.
you. 1901 was an amazing space, and like without you, we were really able to not only create a space that harbor community, but also provide some great opportunities through the markets and all the events, the comedy shows, the youth programs. Like, we did a great job, and I think I'm ready to do it again, and that's why the sauce is back, bro.
Facts.
100%.
Yeah, let's get that shit popping. Like, what's your motivation? Like, what keeps you going? Like,
my motivation, what keeps me going, is just like, I want to leave the world better than I left it, to be honest. I witnessed one man, do a lot, and all he did was like try to help people, and he got blessed for it, and he was able to bless other people, and I thought that was an amazing example. And so then that's one inspiration. And then also, like, he died when I was young too, so like time is precious. And looking back, when I'm on my deathbed, I want to just know, like, I did more while I was here for the benefit of others than just for myself, because I can't take it with me. I can't do nothing.
you gotta leave a legacy. That's
You
like,
know?
because it was crazy when they named the street after him.
Oh man, yeah, my pop, and then like my pop's legacy too. Like, I never want that thing to end with me. It's not just even about my pops. Like, we're from the 7th district, the 7th ward, bro. Like, I don't know if y'all know Black history, but there was a historian, W.E.B. Du Bois, who wrote this book called The Philadelphia Negro, right? And in that book, he talks about the 7th ward, and he just talked about like how they were a unique type of a rare type of African Americans that existed within Philadelphia, because they practiced all sorts of things that African Americans at the time weren't able to do.
Facts.
And that's why the Philadelphia Tribune is right there. And a couple other things that I've always been proud of, and so I wanted to continue that legacy, and I didn't want it to end with me. Like, I'm like last of the Mohicans over there.
Facts. Real quick, name 5 books that you think people should read.
Okay, so for entrepreneurial mindset and just understanding the big picture, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That book is awesome. That's like every self-help book. Like, a majority of all self-help books will quote that book, reference that book, but that is the foundation of just like manifestation. The other book is like How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That's a great book. That really helps you know how to like talk to people. And then the other one is Cybernetics. I think that's what the book is called.
Cyber, yeah.
Cybernetics. You know that goes more in depth with the science behind it. The fourth book I think people should read is Atomic Habits, right? Because like ultimately that you want to learn how you can control what you do, and you know you are what you continuously do. I think that's a phenomenal book. And then the last book, number 5, would probably be The Laws of Human Nature. So you can really get an overview of like the human species and you know how we conduct ourselves psychologically. Yeah.
Facts. So if you could give some advice to younger you, what would it be?
Where you are now is not where you're going. You know, what you're thinking about now, what you think is cool now, may not be cool later on. So keep that in mind when you when you react in the moment for things that could really be detrimental to your future. And you should be more conscious of that. You know, a lot of youth that I deal with, like, they don't know what they want to do, or like, so I asked them, like, where would you like to be at in 10 years from now? How do you want to use that time? You know, it's about those deposits. And just believe in yourself. You know, you got to believe in yourself before anything else is.
Yeah. So, you know, is any plugs you want to put in? Is any shout outs you want to kick for you? So get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, check us out on Instagram, ronsignaturesauce.com. If you want to learn, if you want to hop on one of my classes, you can find out on learnwithwash, learnwithwash.com, or go to @learnwithwash. If you want to donate to the space, visit the streamengine.org. There's a GoFundMe on it. And if you want to support the mission, buy some sauce, because the proceeds help create the space and keep it going. Thank you so much, and just stay great.
Facts. Make sure you go get the sauce. Ron's signature sauce. You can put this shit on anything, bro. I put this shit on chicken. I put it on a cheesesteak, fish. Nigga, the sauce are all sauces. The sauce boss. Ron's signature sauce. Make sure you go. Make sure you come cop up. You know what I'm saying? It's up and it's stuck. Don't go nowhere. We be right back. Talking about
Bitches up, don't give a fuck about how you come. Clutch in a chopper with a drum for any nigga who